I've been thinking a lot about this Amazon RTO stuff. And yeah, look, on the surface, it looks like the usual story we're hearing all the time now. Get back to office, surveillance, mandates, control. Something about that doesn't seem right to me. I actually think what Amazon is doing, it's different. It's deeper. They're really trying to redefine what work even means. So look, for a long time, knowledge work ran on like proxies. We all know them, meetings attended, messaging sent, hours logged, busy calendars, like that became the stand-in for value. And it wasn't because it was really good. It was because it was pretty easy. And for a while, that kind of worked. Or at least it didn't break loudly enough to force enough change. That might be changing. That might be happening. What Amazon is now doing, it's forcing a harder conversation. One, most companies, they just avoid, and they have avoided for years. Not where did you work from, but what actually changed because you were here. It's a pretty different question. They're asking people to articulate 3 to 5 concrete outcomes. Things that moved, decisions that actually mattered, or progress that can be pointed to, not this activity hocus pocus, like real impact. That matters, that shift matters, and it matters now more because AI is really removing a whole layer of work we used to hide behind, probably. Like, think about it for a minute. So much of knowledge work wasn't judgment. It was busy work, coordination, following up, summarizing, scheduling, updating, just really keeping the machine going. That work felt like effort. It was. It did take time. And it even looked busy, but AI, it's eating that layer fast. And when that invisible work disappears, uncomfortable stuff starts to happen. Effort stops being this convincing signal of value. You really can't point to just busyness anymore and say, oh, yeah, see, I did it. I was busy. What matters is that change, that delta, what moved forward because of your decisions, your context, your judgment. So, yeah, that's why I just don't think office attendance dashboards that are being talked about with this Amazon story are really the end state. They actually feel more like blunt, maybe a little transitional, maybe even training wheel-ish. But I do think they're forcing a function, not the ultimate destination. I'm confident the destination is an outcome measurement. And that's going to be a scarier place for a lot of companies. Because once you go there, you don't hide as much. You don't hide behind these inputs. You don't confuse motion with progress. You really can't confuse what we always look at like effort versus impact. So the thing I'm coming back to a lot, the thing I've been thinking about is this isn't actually about Amazon. Amazon just probably has the scale and maybe even the leverage to force the issue. We're all heading there. As AI gets better, we can't be saying, how hard did you work? It's going to be, did the work matter? Did your decisions reduce risk? Did your judgment unlock revenue? Remove friction? Like, that's got to be real. And that is a different definition of productivity than we've been having. It's going to be interesting for a lot of us, for leaders, because they now have to be clear about what outcomes actually matter. For the employee base, they're going to have to start to explain their value without hiding behind activity. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's probably overdue. We just have to go here. We have to move from this world where work was about presence to one that it's really more about the consequences of it. And those types of companies that jump on this bandwagon early, they design for outcomes instead of activity. There's going to be something there, because this is going to take a while to get going. And I think those who get there faster will definitely have the first mover advantage.